Hey, Book, thank you for giving me the opportunity
Thank
to
you, Mike.
conduct this interview this afternoon. I know you've only been president of TAAC for a relatively short period of time, January of this year, as I recall. But what I'd like to know is what inspired you to become president?
Mike, that's a good question. I moved here in 2012. And when I moved here, I found the African American clubs through others who were living here, other African Americans. And they invited me to a meeting. And I found the group to be very engaging. They were very hospitable, very welcoming to me. And I also found it to be a place where you could meet other African Americans who liked and who did the same things that you did. Very, very friendly group. And since that time, I felt like I've been taking from the group, taking in the activities, the events, and things of that nature. And so I felt I wanted to give back. And as part of that giving back, last 2 years, I gave back through being a treasurer of the club. And I was asked this year if I would run for president, and I accepted. And I was been very fortunate to be elected president, and I think it's a great honor. And I'm sort of looking forward to the next 2 years as being the president of the African American Club.
Well, you know, as you know, with being president of any organization comes with its challenges. What would you say were your, or have been your greatest challenges?
I've had a couple of real big challenges. I think the biggest has been getting the infrastructure in place for the club. And by that I mean making sure the board, we had the same marching orders and what we were going to look to do, the same objectives, and how we were going to accomplish those objectives. The second thing was getting the committees in place, the committee chairpersons, as well as the committee members. And the reason those things are important, Mike, is because they're the people that make the club run. And without those folks in place, we would not have a functioning organization. And so the biggest challenge has been getting the infrastructure in place, getting the people in place, and I think we've done that. And I'm very fortunate to have an outstanding group of chairpersons as well as an outstanding board.
Well, you know, certainly there have been accomplishments. What would you say have been your proudest?
Twofold. The first I've already talked about, which is getting the infrastructure in place, the board and the committee. The second is getting our website up and running. We had a good website, but it was old, and which means it had sort of outlived its usefulness. And so what we've done over the last 6 months is get a new website. The website is very user-friendly, very graphic, image-oriented, and it's another way for the club to come together, to know what's going on in the club, to know how to participate, to know who the members are, because we have their pictures, and it really is a go-to place for the club members. And I think we've achieved that with the new website.
Yeah, great, great. Well, you know, as you know, the president sets the pace for the organization, and also the president has a certain vision for the organization. What would you say is your vision for TAAC moving forward?
Twofold. Number one is to sustain our current membership. We have over 300 members in the club today, so it's by no means a small club. But I would say within the villages, it doesn't represent even half of the number of African Americans. So our job and my vision is to grow our membership and to make it a place where every African American in the villages will feel comfortable in coming and enjoying themselves and socializing and making it feel more like a family. So I would say it's the family that's away from your family where you've left, and it's your new family here in the Villages, Florida. So my challenge is to continue to grow the club and make it a place for all African Americans in the villages.
Well, once again, thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Did we do better?
Yeah, you didn't.